1968 Charger Restoration, Part 4. Okay, today we've gotten in some supplemental parts for our Charger restoration. And here we're unpacking a deck lid filler. Hey, that thing looks pretty good, no shipping damage. That's always a plus. And then we have gotten in a pair of brackets. Now these brackets, they connect the trunk pan to the valance inside of the trunk on the left and right side. Okay, let's go. We're going to remove the deck lid hinges. Then this is our rough cut on the deck filler panel. And we'll show you why we're replacing this panel. Yeah, crunch. Okay, let's cut this panel in half. And we'll show you why. It's being replaced. About ½ inch of body filler there. And here is a peek inside of that area. And you can see the panel bond also. And now we're moving on to get the rest of that filler panel off of the adjoining panel. Then we're going to get this area nice and straightened up, cleaned and prepped for the deck lid filler installation. Just taking our time working the air hammer and chisel. This isn't always possible, but when it is, it kind of speeds up the process instead of having to drill out all of the resistance welds. So moving on, we are removing the rust from these areas so that we can reveal the resistance welds. And here we are marking them out, and that's important so we can get the appropriate size drill bit and drill out the entire resistance weld in one shot. That's going to make it much easier. And here we go, last couple one to drill out. And moving up to the top side. Just knocking off the epoxy primer, and that's a pretty good reveal on exactly where that resistance weld is. And now we can go ahead and get these drilled out from the top side also. And now we're going to be separating these panels. Now we have the trunk hinge bracket is sandwiched in between the deck filler panel and the quarter panel. And so that's what we're separating here now. And again, just taking our time with the chisel point of the air hammer. Yeah, if you rush this, it'll really chew up the metal pretty badly. And once these panels have been separated, you're going to notice there's quite a bit of rust in between. And that comes from just a lack of body sealant applied at the factory. And we're going to address all of that. Yeah, you can start to see it now. One more resistance weld. And using the appropriate size drill bit, catching all of that resistance weld is really important. You can see how easily it comes off. If we had only caught in half of that resistance weld, yeah, it's not going to release that easily. And so here we are. Now we can take a look at the back side, inside of that piece. You can see the rust that I was mentioning. And in the scrap pile. And there's a good shot of the deck lid filler trunk hinge bracket. Okay, moving on. Now this vehicle has a serial number stamped on the left hand side of the inner quarter panel. So we're going to be wanting to preserve that. And we're going to be removing it from this panel, and then we're going to affix it onto the next panel installation. This whole little piece. And we're marking out where we want to cut, do the rough cut. And just instead of replacing this panel with a new piece, it always makes the restoration a little bit nicer, because now you have the original number with the original car. So we're just taking our time, going to make that happen. All right. Part removed intact, no damage. And here's a shot of what we have accomplished so far. Just deconstructing piece by piece. Not causing any damage to the original metal that's going to be remaining. And we're going to be building this whole back half on top of. And now we're going to make our cut so we can remove the trunk latch support. That's an original piece, and we're going to be reusing that piece. And the back panel is going to be replaced, so we're just going to speed up the process here and make the job a little quicker. Use the air hammer. And there it is. We'll straighten that up and be reinstalling it. And now tail light panel removal. One last little cut. And there it is. Okay, now we're carefully marking out the trunk pan remnant so we can get in a little bit closer and hopefully use our air hammer to speed up the removal process. And we're going to accomplish this by using a plasma cutter. You always want to double or triple check. Definitely do not want to cut into any joining panels or the frame rail. Into the metal pile. Yeah, the plasma cutter really speeds up the process. But you can also do a lot of damage with the plasma cutter if you're not careful. So it's measure 3 times, cut once. And now you can start to see the shape of the frame rail underneath. And that's what we want to remove, as much metal as close as possible to that frame rail. And that's one of the brackets that I'd shown you earlier in the video. And that's out of the way. Hey, thanks for watching.